hot takes, with Let's Discuss Death Battle, we've all shared our opinions for the good old amount of nearly 5 years I've had this channel for. Jesus Christ, it's been that long. So, whether it was to do with Death Battle or anything related to my channel, we've all shared our opinions on one thing or another. Not everyone's always agreed with our opinions when it comes to a lot of things. Whereas Death Battle, Lads Discuss, movies, TV shows, video games. So we kind of figured, let's actually show more of our unpopular opinions, because we actually do have quite a few unpopular opinions when it comes to Death Battle. And now, here's the thing, I want to also make this clear, and I'm pretty sure these guys think the same way. When we are sharing our hot takes, we're not trying to say, like, our opinions are right. We're not trying to shove them in your face. We just kind of want to express our, you know, either disagreement or agreement with certain things that many people might not side with. And does anyone want to go first, or should I go first?
You go first.
I didn't even know we were talking hot topics today.
What did I?
We literally.
I even asked what the plan was. No, I asked, hey, what's the plan for today? None of you got back to me about that.
I'll literally show in our chat on the video, like, we all kind of agreed on hot takes. There's the screenshot.
Alright.
No, we didn't.
I'm just rolling with it.
Ah, gee. Oh, no, I just want to also post it in the group chat as well now, because you guys have forced my hand. Bam. I rest me kiss. I'm even going to give myself.
I was looking at the wrong chat.
I'm even giving myself an ibuki for that. Right, so also, if you want to understand what the ibuki image means, you should definitely join our Discord. Right, so I guess I'll throw out my first hot take. And I guess given the episode we just discussed, this is the perfect one to start off with. I do have probably a much more hotter take later on. I sometimes feel as though Death Battle shouldn't always do most popular requests. Yeah, I sometimes feel as though there are certain matchups which just won't be interesting, or there's no point in doing, even if it's a popular matchup.
Now I get that.
Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's say, for instance, rematch episodes. You know, Death Battle expressed interest in doing some rematch episodes, and there's some that I agree we should totally do. Because either the characters are really popular that more people would be interested in it, or things have come out about the character that might change. But there are also people pushing for other episodes that I just don't think there's any point in doing. One of those which we've discussed in the past, Dig Dug versus Bomberman. Who cares? Like, that was like, I don't want to act like that episode was like bottom of the barrel, but that episode was just kind of like, let's take these two niche like characters when it comes to video game icons and just see who would win. And overall, I just think I don't. They could probably do something really amazing with the animation, no doubt about it. I'm just not. If this episode was announced for a rematch, I would not be interested at all. I love both those games. I used to play them a lot when I was little on my totally legit PSP that didn't have a hack of different games. But, you know, and yes, I was one of those people that had a PSP. It's not as great as when it was advertised. I still have fond memories, so. But yeah, it's like, you know, stuff like Goku vs Superman, you know, when it was the third time, understandable. Doom Guy versus Master Chief, of course. They're the most iconic first-person shooter heroes of all time. Look, let's get a rematch for that. And maybe Vegeta versus Shadow, like, that's something. I know there's also Vegeta versus Mewtwo, which seems like it's gonna happen from what I've been hearing.
Wait, Vegeta versus Mewtwo?
Shadow versus Mewtwo, sorry. But it's like... But then it's like you throw stuff in there like Hayachi versus Geese. It's like, are people really wanting this? Like, I've actually been seeing people actually requesting that as an idea for a rematch episode. I'm like, I don't think anything's come out about Geese that will warrant a rematch. Stuff's come out about, you know, Hayachi. Like, he survived his volcano thing, which Death Battle actually predicted years ago. Yeah, he's alive again. But there's, unless you two can confirm something, has there been like something about Geese?
I have no
My
idea.
knowledge.
No. You know, probably allowed to curse strikes again. He's going to be announced for another fighting game. But it's not only just that. There's also popular matches that are very obvious that I'm just not interested in, and I don't think there's any point doing. Probably the most popular one when this anime was coming out, Goku versus Saitama. Like, I get it, it's a popular request. And at the time when the anime was, you know, at its peak when it first came out, I can understand why people were trying out. It's the similar with Jujutsu Kaisen. As soon as that anime started picking up, immediately people were like, Goku versus is Gojo and all that. It's like, really? It's like...
It's the can he beat Goku thing.
Yeah, it's like... I get, you know, that's the most hot topic anime at the moment, but it's like, do people really want to see that? Or is it just people, like, if people just want to see a good fight between the two, then, oh, yeah, obviously, then I could see it being an amazing fight. You know, done by the correct animator, but when people are like, oh, would you like it for a debate, though? It's like, that's kind of my reaction to it. It's like, is there, like, even at the time, I was only familiar with One Punch Man through season 1 when Genos vs. War Machine was coming out. I did eventually watch a bit more, I've read some of the manga. I feel sorry for any animators for upcoming monsters they're going to have to animate. Jesus Christ. There's going to be a lot of hands drawn, that's all I'm going to say. But it's like, but after watching the show, I was just like, why are people comparing Saitama to Goku? It's like,
Yeah, I mean, there's also other like shows of like done animations of that, and they're always just, oh, Saitama like no sells everything the Goku throws at him or dodges, and then wins in one punch.
Yeah,
like that's pretty much it. I've summed up a good majority of them.
so you know what? I wanted to be like, okay, it's a little harsh, but that is actually true. Like, 1 Minute Melee, regardless of how amazing the animation was, it literally was that. The same with the Saitama vs Superman video, another highly requested Saitama matchup. It was just Superman threw everything at Saitama, and he knows that. And again, you know, that works in the context of, like, you know, the show. That's what One Punch Man's about. But that's not something we wanted to see when Saitama was fighting Popeye. You know, it starts off that way at first, but then it gets interesting. They start throwing all sorts of stuff and everything like that. And, you know, Saitama's having a good time. He's actually fighting someone who can actually give him a challenge.
Yeah, that's the part I've only seen Death Val do.
Yeah, like... You know, it's like, okay, he's a gag character, you know, he's meant to be like the overpowered hero at the end, at the beginning of his story. And that's good for a concept of a show, but when you compare it, like, we don't really have, at least at the moment, a peak Saitama, but from what the creator's saying, Saitama's kind of at his peak, he's just not showing it. But when you kind of look at what he's done in the show, compared to stuff like what Superman's done, Goku, Sun Wukong, Darkseid, it's like, yeah, my money's on these four compared to you. Hey, I feel like Krillin could defeat Saitama, I'll be honest.
No, I've actually heard that was a thing a while back. Like, there was all these, like, oh, Goku or Superman versus Saitama thing, and the whole thing is just Saitama wins in one punch. And some people started to look into it being like, hang on, why is he just no-selling Goku and Superman when, with everything he's shown, Krillin would beat him?
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Like, I think Saitama's a fun character, no doubt about it. But I think it's the same thing with, like, Gojo and Makima. Like, you know, the theme of that matchup makes sense. It's like, oh, they're both, like, kind of like mentors to the main character. They're kind of twisted, just that one's kind of, like, chaotically good, the other one's chaotically evil, and they both seem impervious to harm, so it's like, who could land a killing blow? It's like, that's interesting. Gojo versus Goku. Is it because they have Go at the start of their name? Is that it? Or no, because they're the most overpowered anime character at the moment. It's like, oh, of course it is. It's like, I don't care if it's a popular match. I don't care if it's a popular match. I'm not interested.
That matchup can go off.
Nice. So that's what I mean by, like, popular matches. Like, obviously people are recommending Omni-Man versus Bardock. You know, the majority of people want to see which one of these space dad warriors would win. It's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, and I'm not into it, but yeah, it was whatever. But just because like we get so many requests, like people are saying Goku versus Sun Wukong, that's another matchup. I'm like, it's not really that interesting, really. And plus, we've already had enough Goku and that sort of thing. Maybe if we never had Goku versus Superman and the fusions of Goku and Vegeta's death battle, then maybe I'll be down for Sun versus Goku. But it just as it stands, I just feel as though Goku's had his peak episodes, and where Sun Wukong had his peak episode as well. Yes, there's the hype because the game came out, which I've heard is pretty good. I've seen a little bit of gameplay. Especially at one point when, I don't know which boss it is, but there's one moment where if you try and use your healing item, one of the bosses will freeze you and take your healing item and heal himself. Which, I won't lie, that's a good way to troll Soul players. But yeah, that's kind of my hot take when it comes to popular matchups. I think there are some that are worth doing based on like, the popularity and what you can do with it. There's just some that I just don't think are worth it just because of the theme, and also just not that interesting as an episode, in my opinion. I guess, given how we usually do these things, I guess you're on it, mate. Let's hear your hot takes. Or at least your first.
I'm not into meme episodes. Like, or at least not meme ideas where it's just like, oh, like this meme versus this meme. I'm just like, no.
Oh, I thought you were talking more so about like when they did the whole "Let's Kill Deadpool" kind of joke.
I mean, even then, it's like, eh.
Should have been Dante.
But episodes like, if they had like Sanic, like an episode like that. What do you mean?
Yeah, you've already lost me.
There you go.
Like I know, like, there's a upcoming Lads debate where I even laugh at the whole, like, oh, we could just do, like, memes of, like, of these two franchises. But it can also depend on how it's done, really, and also just if I find the meme funny.
Yeah.
1 sec, I'll be right back.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, granted, given the next Lads debate we're doing, look in the description below to the last one, and the announcement in our Discord, where you can send us fan art. Yeah, the reason for that was mostly the memes of the two characters, but it's also the theme of the characters as well. Like, they want to build a perfect world and everything like that, and they're both egomaniacs.
Yeah. There's also the fact that this is just friends, like, having a laugh. This isn't like, we're not making an episode of, like, this show and investing, like, a ridiculous amount of money into it.
Yeah, like, I think meme episodes can work, but obviously if you're going to say let's have the troll face versus I'm a fire my laser, that just goes to show my age. The fact those are the first memes I think about.
What?
I said to mate, like, to be honest, if there's a meme theme behind it, I can kind of get. But if you start announcing there's going to be an episode between the troll face versus the I'm a fire my lasers, then you've lost me. But I also mentioned that, and the fact those are the first memes I've thought about shows my age.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm also just against so here's this request where it's like this one person versus this entire universe or this entire group of characters because I want to see them solo it.
Yeah, there does tend to be some bit of like bitterness to that.
Yeah, so I'm already just like, no.
It's like
never.
I remember Duo Dreamer, he uploaded an episode of Battle Mode. Now, to be clear, a lot of his animations can be like other animators want to show off their work, so they use Battle Mode as a way to, show their skills. I think even a Death Battle animator even showed their Steven versus Star Butterfly episode. Which animator was that?
Origin?
That was
There
it.
we go.
Yeah, pardon me, sorry, I'm drinking a Pepsi. And it's fair enough. There are sometimes people who do have posted a bit of spitefulness towards certain characters in Battle Mode, and one of those is like what Mate brought up. They had Black Panther killing the entire Bat family, which includes Dick Grayson, Bruce Wayne, Red Hood, and Batgirl. 4 of the most popular members of the Bat family. Which is like, oof. It's like, I don't think Batman fans want to see it. It's bad enough seeing Batman lose a fight. Seeing all of his sidekicks also dying is pretty messed up. you have anything more to add to that, mate?
I think I remember.
No, I think I've said my piece.
Fair enough. And then we'll throw this to Sean, and then I'll throw in my extra hot take that I was saving for, and I'm hoping you guys also have an extra hot take.
Just because Death Battle does an episode with characters who isn't the ideal opponent for them does not mean it's a bad episode off the bat. I've seen so many people complain about that.
It is so annoying. That is still... People still act like that. Like, they just already say the episode's going to be bad because it's not the one they wanted.
There's a... Like, it was last year, for example, like last season with Killua and Misaka. And even in season 3, when it was Joker versus Sweet Tooth, I remember seeing a lot of people really not like it. Like, just off the fact that it was going to be Needles instead of Green Goblin. But when that episode came out, it was one of the best of season 3, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why people tend to forget that episode existed. I'm like, did you forget how good it was?
Did you forget how good that Joker voice was?
Yeah. Or even just the small little things. Like, you know, Joker shooting out Needle's tires and then just curling up into a ball to jump into the sky and goes, oh, excuse me, I like to drive. Like, come on, man. It was funny as well.
Or just the fact that Needles turns into the sweet spot, Joker goes, okay, that's funny.
Yeah. Even the analysis was pretty
And
funny.
backhand with a Gatling gun.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's not just those episodes.
How many times...
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like how many times have we brought up the fact that people already don't like this episode because it's not the ideal opponent for somebody?
I know an example of that was Korra vs. Storm.
Again, no, that was
I was the only one excited.
When...
Mate, you didn't like that episode because of that, I feel like. When it was announced. And then there was...
I'm just saying, like, because when Korra was revealed, there was a lot of like, oh, is it going to be Rey? Is it going to be Delson?
Yeah.
And then Storm got revealed.
I guess with you mentioning that, Sean, I think it is fair to say we've also fallen trap to that. But I feel like we quickly overcame that. Like, we were all excited because, you know, Predator, Boba Fett was going to an episode. We were hoping it was going to be Star-Lord. It was Predator, but we overall still got a good episode. I still love the meme we got sent where the Predator throws his blade at Boba Fett, and then he goes, "It's rewind time," and it chops off Boba Fett's arm. That was still one of my favorite meme of the days we got sent.
We liked that episode so much, it finished in 4th when we did our ranking for that season.
Yeah. But that wasn't the only reason it was one of the best things ever. It was because of this.
I come back.
I was coming.
I come back.
Do you know what's funny? The music drowned out that he left. That I didn't even notice he left until I clicked back on the browser.
Nice.
Right, can I time this so that he comes in just as soon as it plays? Let me time this right.
You just put it in the chat, you suck.
I saw that. Alright, just going to time this right.
I come back. I come back.
Is this going to be the rest of the episode?
No. Come on, Sean. Please come back. Oh, come on, please.
Wait, we can fish without him?
Yeah, apparently we can fish without him. Sean.
Alright.
No. Come on, Sean, please.
What do you want to use? Do you want to use the float or the weight?
My mouth was also full of cheesecake bite.
Alright, Sean, there's no time to fish. You got to finish your opinion about this whole thing.
But it just sucks that every time something like that happens, people try to drag the episode down just because it's not perfect for them. And it's just like, let them show you what they can do. You know?
Yeah.
And they've even said on cast, like, they can always bring a character back.
Hint, hint, the premiere of this year's Death Battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I agree with that completely. I'm still surprised that's considered an unpopular opinion. It's like, why? Like, yeah, you can not be interested in the episode because, it's not what you wanted, but I wanted Martian Manhunter versus Piccolo. I didn't get that, but when I saw Silver Surfer, I was like, okay, I'll let them cook. It came out as a burnt tart, but it's like, yeah, they tried something different, something not popular, and it didn't work out.
I think there's a mindset of like every character like has their perfect matchup. Like, I know that's an issue that people have with like Luffy because there's no matchup that everyone agrees on.
No, it's either Plastic Man or Naruto. Personally, I'm fine with Plastic Man. I've actually grown to accept that would be a better fight.
I'm cool with either. I was more so hyped for Naruto Luffy because Gear 5 versus Barrier Mode animation would have gone so hard.
Yeah.
I also just think Naruto Luffy is just more of a legacy.
True. I mean, when you think of like anime rivals, well, I guess Goku vs Superman's not an anime rival, but East versus West. It's like when you think of like the top tier superhero in America and top tier in Japan, it's like Goku and Superman. Whereas these two were kind of competing when they first came out, and they're still
I was gonna say, or just fuck a big 3 triple threat or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just wish more people can just accept that. Yeah, you know what? We didn't get the episode we wanted, but we can still get a good episode. I think I'm also saying that to us as well. Like, we can accept if we don't get one of our most wanted. I think many of us have had our peak episodes at this point that we won't be that upset if one of our other requests didn't get their matchups.
I mean, there was me shouting Obstacle cucked at the beginning of one episode. I went back to watch that recently. I laughed.
Yeah, I mean, look, we need that on the shirt. Like, no context, just walk around like the streets of it, and people just like, what's he talking about?
No. You need that meme where it's like the guy looks over to another girl. That's opposite Predator, but the Predator's looking at Boba Fett.
Oh god, I'm gonna edit that for this video now.
And the text is just Arbiter got cucked.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh my god. I guess I'll throw in my biggest hot take on the same if you guys want to throw in other big hot takes. And I'm not entirely sure what this is on the spectrum. But I know we kind of talked about this in the past, but here's what I'm going to say. It's okay for people not to like Death Battle.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
And I mean this for the fandoms, like... I feel like if you disagree with an episode and you're completely civil about it, and, you don't have any minor inconveniences, looking at you, Seth... And, you could disagree with an episode and just move on from it, then, yeah, more power to you. I don't think you should be so, hateful that you disagree with an episode or you don't like an episode. In fact, you could just watch Death Battle and just be like, yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of the animation and that sort of thing. That should be seen as fine for people. Like, I don't think Death Battle needs their social warriors to come in and defend them. Like, you shall not pass with your criticism. It's like, no, Death Battle was open to criticism as well. Like, God, season 1, I think, just has so much targets to take apart and criticize, but it's kind of one of those, legacy shows.
The team have even said themselves.
Yeah, but again, though, it's like, that's kind of a legacy season. Like, I still think, objectively, it's an entertaining good time. It's like a vault to original YouTube, which many people kind of miss these days, especially with how screw up YouTube is these days. Season 1 Death Battle was like, a gateway into an older, simpler time with Death Battle when they didn't need to spend so much money on an episode. In saying that, I'm pretty sure they're happy with where they are at the moment, but...
Well, I mean, the production now isn't just Ben doing everything within 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, people can look at Season 1 and still say, I think it kind of looks like shit. I think the animation's poor. I think it's not as entertaining as actually watching the official work that these characters come from. It's like, that's valid. I've actually seen that criticism. But I've also, with those same criticisms, I've seen people have to get onto Twitter and be like, tweet. It's like Like, who cares? Like, who cares that some random guy on the hill giving Goku his energy filled didn't like an episode of Death Battle or doesn't find Death Battle entertaining? Why does Death Battle need these people coming in to defend them? Like, if we could be like this with movies and TV shows, like, can't we be like this with Death Battle as well? Like, you know, not everyone's gonna like Death Battle. Some people might prefer Cartoon Fight Club. They might find that more insane. They might prefer 1 Minute Melee, and that's valid. You know, it's what people find more entertaining. But, you know, I just don't think Death Battle need... And I think Ben's even said in the past, you know, he doesn't really mind people criticizing or even making fun of them. It's because they're still doing what they love. So, you know, if you see...
Yeah, I mean, I'm making a living from bashing action figures together.
My dream job. But yeah, I just feel as though, just in general, people should not have to think they need to take to online to defend what they like. If you like it, just enjoy it. You know, like for me, I like Starfield. I think it's a really fun game. I've seen online, I'm in the minority when it comes to that. Am I going to just jump onto Steam and just start writing my review saying all these haters are wrong? It's like, no, I'm just going to keep playing the game. I'm going to keep building my spaceship. It looks like a penis. Every Starfield player's done that. If you say you didn't, you're a fucking liar. I'm looking at you, Yang.
I didn't. I can say I didn't because I...
Liar.
I can say I didn't because I... No, I'm saying I didn't because I don't know how to do that.
Amateur. It's just so whenever I
Well,
get
Sean,
to
there's a simple way of doing that. Look down, and then make that in the game.
Okay, I thought you were going to say something else. I thought you were going to say, look at that, and get some Viagra or something. Yeah, the joke I was going to make was that with my spaceship, I like to thrust my way into combat. But yeah. But, you know, the whole concept of, like, you know, people feel... like. I think we can actually say the name of this hater because he's recently purged his Twitter, which I can't remember who it was that told me it. TK Hulk was like one of the biggest Death Battle defenders on the platform. Like, he would defend that like he was on Normandy Beach. Like, he was taking machine gun fire at him with criticism, and it's just like, you know, these are just random people on Twitter that are just giving their opinions on the show. It's like, who cares? Like, you know, in other words, haters gonna hate, people are gonna give criticism, and fans are gonna love. Just whatever you enjoy. If you enjoy Death Battle, that's it. That's all you need. You don't need to make a long explanation why it's peak. You think it's peak. You don't need to prove this to anyone. You don't have to get everyone to like it. So at that point, you're a cult. Like, if you feel as though you have to defend Death Battle like that. Just, you know, after a long day of work, just sit down in front of your computer, get a Pepsi, which I have here, that has run out at the moment, be sad now, and just watch a Death Battle episode. Just hit random. Don't even immediately think of one. Just hit random and enjoy it. And if you see a comment with people saying, it's crap, who cares? It's like, you know,
Or could just point and laugh.
yeah, or point and laugh, you know. Just look at it and like, I disagree, you're a loser. And just go back to the video. Simple as that. I really think Death Battle should not, especially with a lot of people growing up now with social media, like, you know, I'm nearly approaching my 30s and I'm using social media. It's like, I just don't care if people hate something I like. It's like, if I like it, I'm going to keep watching it. I'm not going to go and defend it. I'll give my opinions. Like, if someone can have a civilized conversation, most of the time it doesn't end in a civilized conversation. It's not ended well for a lot of people. Okay, should make that clear. Like, as in, like, the conversation didn't go well. Not, I didn't kill them. Let's be clear. Just my word in there was poor. Yeah, that's just my biggest hot take. I just think people should be allowed to either love, hate Death Battle without someone having to force their opinion about it on them. And yeah, that's my final hot take. Mate, do you have a final hot take you want to give? Whether it's a big one or a small one?
I think I'm alright.
Shawnee?
I got a tiny one, and it's regarding season 7.
Oh, shoot away.
I didn't mind all the Marvel versus DC fights in season 7. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, I also think the hate for that is a bit ridiculous.
Because the problem was, I feel like it had part of it definitely was like when the entire world shut down. It's just like, what are they gonna do? They need first of all, they need stuff that they can easily access, and not everywhere has open access to everything. Like from the researcher standpoint.
Christ, I just want to also point out, like, Death Battle, it's been like that long ago since COVID that how many seasons of Death Battle are we on now? It's like, Jesus Christ.
It's been 4 seasons since the world shut down.
Yeah, that's crazy. It really feels as though it was like last year we had that whole COVID epidemic.
And then it's just, not to mention, like, a lot of the Marvel vs. DC fights are cool, and one of them introduced people to a really cool DC character. Looking at you, Booster Gold.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand it being a bit much, like, and I get that, and hell, I was even kind of getting into the whole, like, yeah, this is a bit, like, too much Marvel and DC when it's, like, half the season. But then I saw Hulk versus Broly as the season finale, and I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, like, looking back on it, like, I didn't really mind it that much, especially, like, with everything going on. It was also... I'm pretty sure Max's last episode was even a Marvel vs. DC episode. In Bucky versus Jason.
Yeah, again, that's an episode I think people sleep on too much. Like, it was a cool live action fight and it had a cool death. I remember when I did a review for that video, and it was like, you know, everyone seemed to hate it, and I'm like, why? It was a cool episode.
Dude, I praise the cinematography in that episode.
YouTube themselves even pointed out how epic that episode was. That should say something. Out of every single episode of Death Battle, YouTube was like, this is the one. This is our favorite.
You know, I found a reaction. Well, like, the moment Bucky takes that sleeve off to reveal his metal arm, someone said, I can't tell if that arm is CGI or not.
Yeah, and
it's freaking insane.
There was also, I still love that moment when, you know, what was it? Jason got thrown through the doors, the shutters went closed, and then they opened again. He was immediately gone. Like, come on, it's a simple
I love
edit.
that shot.
It's a simple edit, but it's like that. I think that looks more epic in live action than it would in sprite animation. It'll still be a good gotcha moment, but just how it's shot is like, it's like so flawless of it. Like, it was clearly like, I don't know, they just edit, you know, it's green screen, they just edited out the actor, but it's like, it was a simple effect that it's so quick, blink and you miss it, and he's gone.
And that's why people were like, yes, let's bring Ismahawk back for $500,000 on the Kickstarter.
Right. Hopefully one of their props doesn't break before an epic moment, like it happened with Daredevil and Nightwing, and they get pissed about it.
Oh no, that was... Oh, I thought you were talking about when Daredevil's actor actually broke the window.
No, he was talking about the cinder block.
Yeah, there was a shot where Daredevil was meant to pick up a cinder block, smack Nightwing over the head of it, but as soon as he lifted it, it fell apart in his hand. It led to a pretty funny outtake, but they were both like... They complained about a Death Battle cost, like, you know, that actually cost us a bit of money, and we need to get a refund on that. It's like, yeah, that is a liberty, you know, it's meant to break on impact, not lift.
His grip was too strong.
Oh goodness, don't grab anything else, Daredevil.
It was the Daredevil guy that picked it up, right? It doesn't surprise me. Again, he legit broke the car window with his knee.
True, I mean, that was... I still remember that. I remember that.
I love in that outtake, just the, wow!
Just think if he didn't dodge that in real life, like, holy shit.
Ooh. That would have been awkward.
It's like, good news, Death Battle. We got your ending for your episode. The bad news is we don't have the actor anymore with us.
Good news. We finished the episode. What's the bad news? Your outcome's now incorrect because the guy who played Nightwing died.
You know, that's not far off. I remember like a alt take for Boomstick's reaction to live action being a thing. He was like, well, in the actual episode, he was like, wait, was that live action? We can do that now? But like, an alternate take was, what the? Is that live action? Is that guy dead?
I don't know why, that one sounds funny.
Yeah, that's my hot take. Is just like back with season 7, I didn't mind all the. Even looking back on season 7, I didn't mind all the Marvel vs. DC episodes.
No, not
Especially as we just talked about. Especially as we just talked about, we got introduced to a cool character, and YouTube themselves highlighted a Marvel vs. DC episode from season 7. Maybe we were the ones that were too harsh on it.
Yeah. Just overall, I think that's a good point to leave our hot takes on. Like, yeah, we have hot takes when it comes to Death Battle. Overall, though, it's just kind of our opinion. I don't think people should debate what's the more popular opinion. It's just, you know, we have an unpopular opinion. Take it what you will. If you disagree with us, yeah, fair enough.
But here's the kicker. You have to comment an unpopular opinion you have.
Damn.
You have to. Like, you're contractually enabled to do so now. If you've watched the video, you've liked it and shared it, please do all those. Join our Discord. You now have to share a hot take. You're legally obliged to.
Because when everyone has bad taste in Death Battle,
I was gonna say
no one has.
that could be a fun follow-up discussion though if we get enough of those.
By the way, I like the little syndrome reference there, mate. That was good.
Thanks.
Also, I don't know why, I'm just picturing, like, I don't know, someone watches the video and they like it, and they're just like, they don't bother sharing their hot take. They go to bed and... Have you guys seen that TikTok video of that Batman that beats up people for the smallest of crimes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing that, like, not sharing your hot take, huh? No? Well, you're going to be sent to the heart hospital. Just beats the crap out of them.
I thought you were gonna go a lot. Imagine that, but it's Steve as our Batman.
He just gets beaten up by Steve the Elephant.
There you go. Put your hot take, or Steve the Elephant will beat the shit out of you.
And
In
no
a
one wants
Batman
to
costume.
no one wants to lose to Steve.
Elephant.
He just stomps on them. Good night. Oh god. But yeah, like, in all seriousness, share your unpopular opinions. Because I know everyone has an unpopular opinion with Death Battle. It might be a small one. It might be, I don't know, I wish Boomstick was a sexy redneck lady. It's like, I mean, it's a weird one, but okay, go ahead.
Was
I'm
that
sure there's
secretly
fan
one
art of that.
Bill, is that one you secretly have been hiding?
Shh. No one will ever know until they watch this episode and share it around. With all that said and done, I had a feeling something like that was coming, but I thought it was going to be the Blake one.
Is it bad that that actually spooked me for a bit?
Upgraded soundboard, what can I say?
You know, Sean's taste in women aside, thank you all so much for watching, and hey, are you excited for Bardock versus Omni-Man, and do you have any Death Battle hot takes? Leave your suggestions in the comments down below. Unless you're watching the hot take video, then we'll read your comments from the Omni-Man versus Bardock video. For all that said and done, thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to share the video and keep the channel growing. Farewell, everybody.
Bye-bye. Gross.
Do you reckon Boomstick as a woman would have a big rack? For her guns? For her guns, of course.